Welcome back to the kitchen. We are making something delicious for dessert tonight. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Always fun to have you back here in the kitchen. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. I have poured myself a little of the usual libation, a little gentleman jack this evening. And so cheers to everyone. All right, I decided that we've been exploring some pasta dishes the last 3 weeks. Hi, Lillian. And I enjoyed doing that. We did carbonara, which is a classic. We did puttanesca. We did a matriciana. All of those recipes are up on my, hi Shirley, on the YouTube channel if you want to check them out. I thought I'd change gears this week and do a little dessert. And I've been sort of craving this. Hi, Diane. It is a lemon ricotta polenta cake. It's pretty traditional in northern Italy, in the Lombardy region, which is up very close to the border, up north. The southern portion of the Lombardy region includes Milan, and they do a lot of polenta dishes as main dishes and side dishes, but this is a great dessert. It has the creaminess. Hello, Mary. How are you? Mary Tildar watching. By the way, your parents are coming over for dinner, so they're going to get to try this cake. It has the creaminess of the ricotta and the heartiness of the polenta, and of course the tang of the lemon, which I am zesting even as we speak. So you need one whole lemon, and then you're going to use that lemon, you're going to juice it and make the glaze that goes on top. I did already a blueberry glaze for this. And so we're just going to mix this up and see how it turns out. But it's a really delightful, not too sweet dessert. That's one of the things I like about a lot of Italian desserts. Good evening, Pam. Nice to have you joining us this evening. And this is also one of those that's not too sweet. And a lot of Italian desserts involve mascarpone or ricotta cheeses, and this is exactly one of those. It keeps the cake nice and moist, so it's really a unique dessert. And you can also just dust it with a little powdered sugar on top. You don't have to make the glaze. You can make any kind of berry glaze that you prefer. I did the blueberry. Hi, Linda. So anyway, I'm zesting my lemon, the zest of one whole lemon. So there is our poor naked lemon. We'll set that over there. And so there's my lemon zest. I'll get the rest of that out of the grater in a minute. You're going to need for this some flour, some sugar, some butter. You are also going to need the lemon zest, a couple of eggs, ricotta cheese, a little baking powder, not baking soda. So I've got my flour over here. So what I'm going to do is put my 2 dry ingredients, and I need 3/4 of a cup. Hello, Roland. Hi, Dana. How are you? My in-laws watching. And so I did this earlier. Each month I do a cooking segment with the Alzheimer's Explorers group. We do it via Zoom. And so I made this. It was a practice run. So I am leveling off my flour. It is 3/4 a cup of flour. So we've got that ready to go. Hi, Linda. Hey, Bill Senso. I'm going to put you down here so you guys can see what I'm doing as I go along here. So that's my flour. Got that. And the other thing you're going to need, you can use cornmeal, or if you want, Sydney, nice to see you in Rancho Santa Fe, a lovely, lovely spot. This is corn flour as opposed to cornmeal. You can use either. This is going to give you a slightly more delicate finish to the cake. If you use the cornmeal, it's going to be a little coarser and a little more crumbly, but they're the same thing. This is just finely ground cornmeal, basically, ground into corn flour. So we'll 3/4 of a cup. So there's 1/4. And I'm trying to level it off as best I can. As you guys know, if you've watched me cook before, I don't measure all that much, but I'm measuring pretty carefully. So there is our flour and our corn flour or cornmeal. Add to that 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I get baking soda and baking powder confused all the time. All right, 1 very level teaspoon of baking powder. Those are the dry ingredients. We're going to set those aside for now. Now, I need to get my cup measure out. I'm gonna need 1 cup of ricotta cheese. Hi, Christina. Yes, it will. Christina is watching from Roanoke. Yeah, it'll still be moist if you use cornmeal. The ricotta, and we're gonna add a little water as well. So you're gonna add that plus honey. So that's gonna keep it fairly nice and moist. And the honey, of course, gives you a different kind of sweetness. There's a little sugar in this, but not a whole lot. All right, so let's go back to this. So what we're gonna do, get my ricotta. That's too big a spoon. Here we go. I'm gonna put my ricotta. I use whole milk ricotta for this. Don't use the skim. It doesn't do as well. It's not as creamy. It's not as moist. It's not as nice. You're gonna get a better product if you use the whole milk ricotta. Just trust me on that. Let your diet go by the wayside. All right, so there's a cup of ricotta. Hi, Jan. There we go. And I also, by the way, I let that ricotta come up to room temperature, so it's gonna be easier to mix. Now, I'm gonna use 1/3 cup of water, and let me grab that. Pardon me, Guinness. My handy cookmates. And I'm gonna put in not quite a full 1/3 cup, just. So this also helps, by the way, Christina, keeping it nice and moist. Hello, Robert Chapman, my old buddy from grade school, middle school, high school. All right, I'm stirring that up. This is just the water and the ricotta. And what I want to do is just kind of smooth out that ricotta. I've just got a fork in here. But we're going to be blending this in just a little bit with the hand mixer. I just want to get the lumps out of that and get the water incorporated. So there we go. All right, that's good. I'll set that there. Now, and I'm checking my instructions as we go along. Now I need a 1/2 cup of honey. And I know that this is about a 1/2 cup in this container. Rosalind, nice to see you. Hello from Denver. Hi, Michelle. Rosalind's in Denver. Chilly up there in Denver, isn't it? All right, so we've got our honey in there. Now, we are gonna put a little sugar. The one nice thing about the measurements, they've all been fairly equal measurements. 3/4 cup of flour, 3/4 cup of the cornmeal, and now we're gonna do 3/4 cup. That's a 1/4 cup right there. 1, 2, 3/4 cup of sugar to go with our honey. I can put the sugar back over there. All right, I don't bake very often, but when I do, I like to make it worthwhile. My fingers are sticky from the honey. You'll pardon me for cleaning them off the old-fashioned way. All right, so we've got that. Now, I want to add to that my zest of the lemon. So let me get that out of there. I want to get all my lemon zest because you're going to get that bright, lemony, wonderful flavor from the zest of 1 whole lemon. I got it. We're going to add that in. I want to get all of that lemony goodness into this bowl. That is what sets this dessert apart. I've had this many times, and it comes in different forms. We're just making a round cake, but you can do it in a lot of different ways. All right, so I'm going to mix this stuff in. Good. All right, now we're going to blend it up a little bit. Hello, Reed, my nephew Reed. Good to see you. Lemon ricotta polenta cake tonight, Reed. It's what's for dessert. So I've got my wet ingredients and my sugar in here. I'm just going to get that mixed up nicely. All right, now we're going to add a couple of eggs. I've let these come up to room temperature as well. There's 1. that in there. Get it mixed in. Now I'm also going to add some butter. This is a whole stick of butter that I melted and let it cool back down. I'm just going to add this in as we go. Let that blend in. That's a whole stick of butter that you melt in the microwave. Right in there. So there's plenty of things to keep this cake nice and moist. Butter, ricotta, honey, a little water, a couple of eggs. Hi, Maureen. All right. Got that blended up nicely. Now I'm going to add the other egg. There we go. Just like that. Mix that in. Okay, there is the liquid part of our batter. Now, I've got my mixture, hi Janet, of cornmeal or corn flour. I use the flour tonight. It's going to make a less crumbly, less coarse cake. It's going to be a little more of the kind of cake texture that you're used to and consistency. All right, we're going to add this just a little bit at a time as we continue to blend. So I have the blender on low. I'm just adding in my dry ingredients. And with the cornmeal, this is going to start absorbing that liquid pretty quickly. So this is going to be a thicker batter than regular cake batter. Just be aware of that. It will work a little differently. All right, you can kind of do it in thirds. All right. Got that going. And just trying to get all my powdered ingredients incorporated into the batter. Put the rest of it in. Stir that in so I don't throw it all around the kitchen. And there we go. All right. Now, one thing I want to do before I finish this, I'm trying not to make a mess here. I just want to get all the stuff off the side of the bowl and get it mixed into my batter. And we're just about there. Oh, this is really, really lovely stuff. And you're going to love the result of this. It is sweet, tangy, not too sweet, just a little tart. Okay. I don't know without making too much of a mess. All right, guys. Hey, Shirley. So that's our batter. And like I said, Aris, how are you doing? Hi, Mar. Nice. Oops, sorry about that. So this is our batter. Now, let me get my spatula. Give me a second. Okay. So what I did earlier, I got my springform pan. You can do this in a regular cake pan, but it's going to be a lot easier if you use the springform pan. All right. I lined the bottom of that with a little parchment paper. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. There you go. All right. So I've lined my springform pan with parchment paper. Casey, how you doing? Hey, Deb. And then I buttered the sides. So this way you're going to get a nice brown finish on the sides of your cake. All right, so now we're ready to just put it in our springform pan. Thank you, Deb. Hello, Rose. Rose Kingsley, one of the great vocalists in the desert, but she performs in Vegas, in New York. If you get a chance to see Rose's show, don't miss it. Rose and Norm, just great folks. All right, we're just gonna, and again, this is a little thicker than your average cake batter because of the cornmeal or the corn flour that you use. All right, let's just get every bit of that goodness into our springform pan. I surprised myself that I had a springform pan, but because I don't do a lot of baking. My friend Nan Tomasco gave me a nice mixer, so now I'm going to have to do more baking. So thank you, Nan. All right. There we go. We've got all of our ingredients. We're just going to smooth this out in the pan. And as I said, it's a little thicker than cake batter, so try to smooth it out and get it nice and even. All right, you guys see that? It's filmed in front of a live studio audience of dachshunds. All right, we're just about there. I have preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and you're gonna bake this for about 35 to 40 minutes until it is nice and golden brown on top. But one of the things we're gonna do before we put it in the oven, let me just finish spreading that out, get it nice and smooth. There we go. We're in good shape. Now, I'm gonna take a little butter, just a little bit of butter, and dot the top with a little bit of butter. So you'll get a nice little golden top crust on that. Whoops, that's a lot. All right, well, we can live with that. Be careful as you're doing that. Just dot the top with a little bit of butter, like that, there in the middle. You know, there's never been such a thing as too much butter, so I'm okay with it. All right. Sal, nice to see you. Okay, guys, this cake is ready to go into our oven at 350 degrees. And it's going to be a nice, firm cake. There we go. Put it there in the center. And, hey, Bob, one of the great broadcasters that I had a chance to work with. We did some stuff for Desart Performs, and it was a lot of fun. This is our blueberry glaze. I'm just going to show you this. I made it a little earlier. This is a pack of frozen blueberries, a third of a cup of brown sugar, and I squeeze the juice of this lemon, and then you just kind of cook that off. Okay, so that's super easy. You just take the lemon juice, the brown sugar, the blueberries, that's all the moisture you need, and you're going to cook that, let it simmer for about 5 to 8 minutes until the blueberries start to shrivel just a little bit, and we can top the cake with that. But don't do it until you're ready to serve it, because you don't want the cake to get all mushy and soaked, because that's not a pleasant way to experience dessert. All right, so that's got to bake for, I should set my timer. Let me do that. Give me a second here. I'm going to set that timer for 35 minutes. And those of you who are more experienced bakers than I will know, when it's nice and golden brown, it'll be ready to come out. So, let's see the finished product. Haha, I was thinking ahead today. Here we go, guys. That is your ricotta, polenta, lemon cake. Isn't that beautiful? You guys just need to get a better view of that. Look at that. So you can see it browned up beautifully on the outside. It's nice on the top, golden crust. And I would cut into it, but I'm saving it for company. So, and that is, hey, Andrea, nice to see you from Houston, near Houston. So that, guys, is your lemon ricotta polenta cake. It is a very nice hearty cake. You don't need to cut big slices. This will serve a lot of people because, remember, it's that polenta, so it's very hearty, and it will. You can top this with the blueberry glaze. You can do it with just powdered sugar. You can do a mixed berry glaze, a strawberry glaze, any of those flavors that complement. Remember, you've got that nice lemony zest in there. So I think you're really going to love this one if you're a baker, and it doesn't take a lot of time. You know, I had all the ingredients. We measured it out all together. Cut into it. Richard, I'm not going to cut into it because I got people coming over. The Xaviers are coming over for dinner, and I'm saving the cake. So we'll, all right, we should cut into it. You're right. Richard's right. All right, let's cut into it. I got another one in the oven. All right, here we go. Let's just like that. Oh, this is really nice. Oops. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Firm, moist. It's sort of the consistency of cornbread as you would expect with the cornmeal, but it's a little lighter. It's got the flour in it. All right, let's just take a look. There you guys go. Look at that. That's really nice. Now I'm going to have to put that back and pretend like I didn't cut into it until the company gets here. Luckily, there's a whole nother one in the oven. All right, guys. I will, as usual, post this recipe on my YouTube channel, which is Patrick Evans in the Kitchen. It's a great dessert, a very traditional Northern Italian dessert. I think you're going to enjoy it if you like not too sweet desserts. And the glaze, the blueberry glaze, is definitely that blueberry super sweet. So that'll give you the sweetness you're looking for. And maybe just a little vanilla ice cream or a little creme anglaise, something fun to put on top of it. But it's plenty moist. It turned out beautiful, actually. I'm very pleased with it, and I hope the second one turns out just as well. You guys have a great rest of your week. Check out the YouTube channel, if you would, please. And if you feel like it, subscribe. There are a whole bunch of great recipes there from my family and other recipes that I've explored along with you since the beginning of the pandemic. Hello, Eric. Good to see you. So I will say cheers. And well, what else is for dinner? Shirley, I made some fresh veal and ricotta meatballs that are simmering over here in sauce. I can show you those. That recipe is also on the YouTube channel. So I got the veal ricotta meatballs. They got a little burn. I baked them. They got a little burn on the bottom. And I'm making just fresh pasta sauce. And spaghetti and meatballs. That's what's for dinner. And then there's lemon ricotta polenta cake for dessert. Thank you, Linda. Hey, guys, have a great rest of the week. Be safe. Be careful. We've got a real nice weekend of weather coming up. And I always appreciate you stopping by the kitchen to enjoy these recipes with me. It's always fun. And sometimes I get to explore new recipes that I've never tried before. And that's equally as fun as doing the tried and true ones. So thank you. I look forward to seeing you again next week right here in the kitchen.